Hello community, I hope this finds you well. So for this week's video, I would like to talk a little bit about boundaries. And although the topic of boundaries is quite extensive, I'd like to zero in on helping us validate what was not done or what we did not receive, which, as we all know, that's so much harder to validate something that we did not receive or that was not given to us, as opposed to the obvious violations of boundaries, such as what was done to us. And one of the most extensive damage that I've seen in adults, and even myself, is this emotional distance boundary violation. And what that basically means is that as children, it is completely normal that we needed a lot of hugs and affection and assurance of being seen and being validated and being heard. And oftentimes, a lot of us did not receive the amount of affection and hugs and validation from our caretakers in order to feel very safe. One of the factors that is also involved here that I'd like to point out is that we all come into the world with a different level of sensitivity. And nobody has a right to judge that level of sensitivity. Not even myself, which oftentimes we do this. We say things like, well, I'm too sensitive, or me and my silly emotions, or we tend to invalidate our own feelings often. Although it's completely normal that we have these needs for warmth, affection, intimate dialogue, honest dialogue, authentic dialogue. As children, sometimes we were spoken to just to be reprimanded, or we were not even spoken with, we were spoken at. So there was not really an authentic level of connection in order to feel, as a child, that warmth and safety of being loved. So this is one of the reasons why we emerge as adults with just sort of like this low-level chronic insecurity, emotional unrest. It's because of the emotional distance, possibly because of the emotional distance violation that happened to us as a child. So it's completely normal for us to feel this way if that was the case. And oftentimes we just need to validate that we have a level of sensitivity, that we have a right to, I don't want to say demand, but we have a right to desire from the people that we love. And I say desire versus demand because truly we can just ask. And we need to know this about ourselves, because this is a way that we can really love ourselves unconditionally. We're sensitive beings. I don't need to defend that. I'm a sensitive being. I like certain types of relationships, and I have the right to choose not to stay in a relationship if my level of sensitivity is not being respected. So I hope this helps. Remember, validating what was not done to us and what we had a right for as a child is much harder to validate or even to identify versus the obvious abuse or physical abuse or being yelled at. There's certain things that live in the unconscious, the needs that have not been met, and we just quite don't know why. So I'm hoping this video helps. I'd love to hear your feedback as always, and wishing you a beautiful week. Namaste.